Hey everyone, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for visiting. I'm coming on today to share with you the October release for SweetMissDaisy Designs, and I'm really excited about this month's products. We have 9 new products that are being released, and all of them I think are just super fun. But first, a little housekeeping. I wanted to announce that we have welcomed Nancy May, the Handy Scandy, into the SweetMissDaisy full design team. So you're going to be seeing more projects from Nancy being shared on her social media. So thank you and welcome to the team, Nancy. We also have Jeanne on the team, Giovana, and Angela as well. I will put all of their links to social media down below in the description box, and I encourage you to go check out their sites and see what they're sharing. You might find them sharing on Facebook, on Instagram, and sometimes their blog as well. So check them out and give them a like, give them some hearts. They have made some super fun samples for this month. So thank you so much to all the design team members for all their efforts. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started on the release products for the month of October. I think they are all so cute and I hope you do too. So first up is a new notepad. This one features the gingerbread boy, the reindeer, and Santa Claus. And then of course the outline edge of the notepad is fun snowflakes in a really pretty turquoise blue. So that's a pretty cute little notepad. There's 48 sheets in the notepad, and I think they're just beautiful. They are perfectly sized if you want to use these as an insert to your A2 sized cards and use the lines then to write your message. And you don't have to fold the sheet of paper, or if you just want to tuck a note in there and fold it up, of course it fits as well. But they are sized perfectly to fit in size an A2 size card. So that's the notepad for the month of October. I love it. I love it, and I hope you do too. And then I also have a new Snowman of the Month, of course. This one is a collaboration between SweetMissDaisy Designs and Serendipity Stamps. And so this Snowman of the Month is called Snowman with Birds. And I think it's so cute. I just love these images, and I'm so happy that I'm able to bring them to you because I just don't think they're ready to retire yet. I just think they're adorable. So we've got the snowman with birds image, and then I added additional birdies in multiple different sizes and both directions. And then I added another little birdie here that's pulling a banner that you can stamp the sentiments in. So we've got Seasons Tweetings, Very Merry Christmas, and Home Tweet 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 Home. So I think this set turned out super cute, and I hope you love it too. Again, that one is called Snowman with Birds. And then I have another collaboration set that I did with Serendipity Stamps for this month. And this one is Rooster and Sunflowers. And this is one of my favorite Serendipity images, and I was happy to be able to bring this one to us to use. So this beautiful rooster is standing on a fence surrounded by some sunflowers. I created an extra sunflower banner here that you can use, and you can stamp it to create a row or a nice background. So that's a super fun image. And then I added a little label stamp in here with some random numbers. So we've got 137250, and we have figure 1 and figure 2, a little ink splat, the number 483, and then the words create, courage, breathe, and be still. And all of the sentiments fit inside the label. And keep this one on your desk because this label and these numbers and these words, they all work so perfectly with other stamp sets. So this one I think is going to be one that's going to stay on my desk for a long, long time and just be really fun to use. So this one again is called Rooster and Sunflowers. Up next is a SweetMissDaisy Designs exclusive set. This one is called Just For You, and it features 5 different characters as well as a snowflake. So we've got a gingerbread boy with buttons and icing on his arms, cute little bow tie and swirly cheeks. I think he's adorable. Santa Claus. There's a fun penguin wearing a scarf. The reindeer has a fun ornament hanging from one of his antlers. And then there's the snowman surrounded by fun snowflakes. So those are the cute characters for the Just For You set. And then there's some sentiments in here. There's Merry Christmas. There's a nice to and from stamp, as well as Happy Holidays, Have a Sweet Christmas, and Christmas treats just for you. So I thought this would make a really fun set to make bunches of holiday tags. And so this is one of my absolute favorites. I had so much fun using that particular set. And then I have 3 background stamps releasing this month. These are 5 by 6 inch stamps, so they fit a full A2 card front on the design of the stamp and work perfectly. So the first one up is wood grain, and I love this pattern. It's a very delicate grain pattern, and so I think it looks really, really beautiful, and it stamps out so nice. So this one again is called wood grain. And then we also have sunflower tile, and this design I think is so beautiful when it's stamped, especially when you stamp it in a distress ink and then give the stamp a little mist of water, and it just catches so pretty in the petals of the sunflowers. The ink catches so pretty in the sunflowers of the petals. So this one is called sunflower tile, and it's also a 5 by 6 stamp. And then we have one more background stamp, and this one is called Sketchy Plaid, and I think this is so cute. It is rustic and country and whimsical and all the things that we love with our creations. And also, if you purchased the Trick or Treat set last month, this is the same plaid that's on the Pumpkinhead Man's overalls shorts. So very fun. So this would be a great one to use with that set too. And then we have 2 paper collections releasing this month. The first one is Winter Friends, and I think this one is so cute. I just love these designs. And just a reminder too, on my insert pages for the cover, the art is shown at 100% size. So what you see here on the cover will be the actual size of the sheets inside. So there's the Winter Friends collection. So let's take a look. We get 4 of each design. So there's the pine boughs, and on the back of that is a really beautiful aqua gingham. And then we have a red gingham. And on the back of that is a green ledger page with snowflakes. So that sheet's really fun. And then we have all the characters on green. So I love that. I love all the distressing and the snowflakes added to that sheet. And the back of their page is a beautiful mustard color gingham. And then we have the Christmas text page. And so this is red text on a tea-dyed paper background. And if you picked up the Hope for All Santa set from July, that has this North Pole Express stamp in it. So this would also be a good collection to mix and match with your previously purchased Sweet Miss Daisy stamps. And the back of that sheet is this really beautiful green plaid. I love this page. And then we have that same plaid, but in a mustard yellow color. So pretty. And then the back of that one is the aqua colored snowflake page. You can see the grid in the background there. And then finally we have all the characters on that same aqua color. And the back of that one is the beautiful brown plaid, or gingham. So I think this paper collection is super fun, and it was really fun to use as well. So there's Winter Friends. And I did order extra of these because I think it's going to be a hot seller. And then finally, the last product releasing this month is called Sunflower Field. You might recognize this from Impression Obsession. I wanted to bring it back to Sweet Miss Daisy. So let me get this open here. And we can take a look at the designs inside. So again, the artwork on the cover sheet is 100% size. So you can see all the beautiful colors there. So up first we have the sunflowers, and on the back of that is a beautiful green polka dot. Then we have this sheet here, which kind of looks like seeds, but just a fun geometric print in a beautiful light brownish gray. And then we have the sunflowers. I love this sheet. Then we have the sunflowers on brown. And we have a fun distressed light brown gingham. And then we have the black gingham. So it's black and tea dyed. And we have the sunflowers in green. Then we have this beautiful blue. I love this particular design. And the back of that one is this, it's like an Indian red print with a subtle pattern on the back. And then finally we do have the tossed seeds. And on the back of that one is a blue plaid. So I love this collection, and of course needed it in Sweet Miss Daisy, in addition to Impression Obsession. But if you did purchase this with Impression Obsession, the prints are all the same, the colors are the same, etc. I do use a different manufacturer than Impression Obsession uses, so the colors might be slightly different, but the design is the same. So that is the lineup for the month of October. Let's take a look at the samples I made, because that I think is the most fun. So first up, I wanted to make some treat boxes. I have this die, and this is a die that I picked up from Oriental Trading decades ago. Like when dies first started being made. And so I have used this die probably every year since purchasing it. And I love it at the holiday times to make little treat boxes for friends and neighbors. And so I used that. Let's see, let me show you some of the other products I used as well, just so I can get them out of the way. On some of my projects, I used this deckled circle set from Stampin' Up! And then I also used this old Spellbinders scalloped circles set as well. And I also used the Spellbinders regular circle set. So you'll see lots of circles this month in my projects. And then I used my Crazy Stitched scallop circle set. I think I used probably this middle die here. So again, more circles. And then I also used my favorite tag die. And this is the one that I used. It's called Stitched Tag, and this was one of my releases with Impression Obsession. And you can see I love it so much, I actually have two. So that is the die that I used to create my tags. So now let's take a look at the samples. Let's see. Let's start with cards and the Snowman of the Month. So this is my first Snowman with Birds card. And I stamped the image on watercolor paper, added some distress ink before I painted, and then I ended up painting the image with watercolor paints and giving it a spritz of glitter, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's super sparkly. I added the little label and Be Still and Figure 1 from the Rooster and Sunflowers set, so those two sets work really well together. So I think that card turned out really, really cute. The plaid paper here that you see is from the Sunflower Fields paper collection. And then the next snowflake or Snowman with Birds card features that label again, but Seasons Tweetings, and then a piece of paper from Sunflower Fields. And I think it just looks so cute. So I ended up stamping it on watercolor paper, adding distress ink in the color Vintage Photo, and then painting the image. And so I think they both turned out super cute. So that's my Snowman of the Month projects. And I love that stamp. I think it's one of my absolute favorites from the Serendipity line. And I'm so happy to be able to bring those to us. Let's see, up next I have some rooster cards. So this rooster card features the Rooster and Sunflowers stamp set. It features a cancellation post from my Correspondence Bits stamp set, if you have that one. So again, another one that would work really well with these images. And then Figure 1 and the sunflower, or the Rooster and Sunflowers, of course, came from the Sunflower set, as well as the word Create and the little label down here. So, and I also used the little splatter spot on the tag here. And the piece of paper, of course, came from the Sunflower Fields collection. But I think this card turned out so cute. This is a Buff Orpington rooster, and that was my mom's favorite breed of chicken. And they're super big and super fluffy. So that's my first Rooster and Sunflowers card. Then I wanted to use the sunflower tile background stamp. So I made this card, and you can see the sunflower tile in the background here, how it looks so pretty. I stamped it in Vintage Photo ink, gave it a spritz, and then pressed the paper onto the stamp. And I think it just leaves such a very pretty mark with the ink, how it catches in some of the corners of the petals. So this card, the image was stamped on watercolor paper. I think this might be Arch's watercolor paper. And of course it was painted, and then I gave it a good splatter with some metallic watercolor. You can see the sparkle. And then added the word Courage to one of the labels. And I think this card turned out so cute. So I love that. So he's a dark red rooster. And if you've ever seen rooster feathers up close, their tail feathers will often have a blue, green, or purple sheen to them. And so I wanted to kind of capture that in my painting. So that's that rooster card. And then I had so much fun with that one. I wanted to make another one featuring the sunflower background stamp. And so I think this one turned out really cute too. Just a slightly different color rooster. But the process was the same, stamping it on watercolor paper and painting him in and then giving it a good splatter with sparkly watercolor, metallic watercolors. So love that. And then I also wanted to use the sketchy plaid background. So I made this card. And so the difference here that you see is the background stamp is the sketchy plaid instead of the sunflower tile. And then this particular image is stamped on alcohol-friendly paper, but I watercolored it with the colored pencils, the watercolor pencils from Tim Holtz that I got last week in my Simon Says stamp kit. So I love the difference of the, you can see this one was done with watercolors, this one was done with the pencils. So you can see the subtle differences there. But I used the same shimmery watercolor to splatter it, and I think it looks so pretty. So a little bit of cotton lace here and a fun button, and that card finished off really, really nicely. And then one more rooster card to share with you. This one features the sunflower field paper collection on the background. And this rooster was really, really fun to color. Lots of bright colors in his feathers. And then I also added some of the correspondence bits stamps to this card as well. So get out your Sweet Miss Daisy stamps. They all work so well together. And then I added the label up here in the top and folded it over the top layer there. So there is that card. So lots and lots of roosters in my month. And then let's see, we also have the Winter Friends, Just For You stamp set to go over, which is all the little fun characters. And let me set these off to the side here. So first up, I wanted to create some treat boxes using that die I shared with you. And this is what they look like when you die cut them out of the 6x6 pattern paper. The die fits a piece of 6x6 paper perfectly. So I've added a fun tag to the top of the box using the Fun Just For You set and another piece of the paper from the Sunflower Fields collection. From the Winter Friends collection. And I think this one is so cute. So can fit lots and lots of goodies in here and give to friends or neighbors. And then the back of the tag I put to and from. And I think these are so cute. I love using this die every year. And then here's another one. I'm using the green paper. So very, very cute. And this one I used the gingerbread boy to make a tag. And again, I stamped the to and from on the back side. So really, really cute. And they come together so fast. You die cut the die twice and then adhere them together and it creates that little gift box. So really fun. If you don't have a little gift box die, I would recommend grabbing one of those because you can use it for every season, for any occasion. And I think they always turn out really great. Wedding favors, they're perfect for that. So let's take a look at some of the other projects that I made using the Just For You set. So here is a snowman card. Isn't he cute? And this card also features the wood grain, so you can see how beautiful that stamp is on the background of this card. I stamped Happy Holidays on a small banner and added it to the card. And then the snowman is stamped on watercolor paper and die cut with my Crazy Stitched scallop circle set and then one of the Spellbinders scallops. So I really love this. There's that green twine that I purchased recently. And then the holly leaves that I'm using, one of them is a stamp, a punch from Martha Stewart from ages ago. And then this holly leaf, I think, might be from Paper Tray Ink. I've just had them die cut here in my stash. So I just pulled some out to use on this card. But I love this set. I love the wood grain in the background. And then, of course, this card got sprayed too with some sparkle, and it looks really, really pretty. So there's that guy. Then I made a card using the reindeer. And again, this card features the wood grain stamp as well. And then this card I actually splattered with gold too. So there's lots and lots of metallic shimmer on this particular card. So I think he's adorable. I used another sentiment banner there for this one, and then again used the Martha Stewart punch and the holly to create a little embellishment. So there's that cute guy. And then I made a whole slurry of tags. So most of them are going to be very similar, but let's just take a look. So here's the one with the gingerbread and one of the dies from Spellbinders, the scallop circles. Of course, my tag die from Impression Obsession and its little banner. And I also stamped this particular card with the received ledger stamp as a background. So I think that one turned out really fun. And then up top here, I added a jingle bell and a little candy cane and lots of little doodads to dress this one up. So I think this little guy turned out real cute. And then I wanted to make a reindeer tag. So here's this little guy. And again, I used the ledger for the background stamp. Let me see if that's still sitting here. Let's see. Yes, so here is the received ledger stamp that I've been using. It's kind of hard to see because it's not on a carrier sheet. There we go. So this one released a couple months ago, and it's one of my favorites. So it has lots of distressing on it for you. It has this received April 25th, 1928 and by number 20, and then it has a postmark down here too. So you can really, if you're stamping the background for a tag, you can really move your tag around and find just the right position for the images you want on your tag. So I find I use that stamp quite a bit. So here I added the label from the sunflower set, sunflower and rooster set, and stamped that one with 483. I added a cute little reindeer charm, and I think this one turned out really fun. Stamped to and from on the back. So there's the reindeer. And then here's the snowman. So you can see they're all very similar. This one, I just used a little tiny attacher to attach the sentiment banner, and actually it's glued on, and the tiny attachers are just for decoration. Used the little label over here this time on the side and folded it to the back and stamped to from. And so I think this one is really cute. It has a little jingle bell at top and then a fun green button. So there's the snowman. And then, of course, we couldn't neglect Santa. So here he is on his tag, and he has a little snowflake charm. So I think they just make the cutest little tags, and they're so easy as well. And then finally, there is the cute penguin. Very Merry Christmas. Very cute. So these are the most fun to make, I think. And of course I made more because I couldn't stop. So this one features a fun button and snowflake charm from my friend Mary. So thank you for those. Those were really fun to use on my projects. Christmas treats for you, and it looks like I need to add something down here. A little bow or something. Then here's another reindeer card with another little jingle bell. So cute. And another gingerbread, and I added a piece of greenery here as well. Isn't he cute? And then here's another, I told you I went crazy. Here's another penguin. Merry Christmas. And then another Santa. And this one uses a little fun wreath cabochon for decoration. And then finally, one more reindeer card with a great big candy cane. Christmas treats just for you. And so cute. So very cute. And then I have a couple more projects to share with you featuring the Just For You set. I had mentioned that my friend Diana had made an ornament for me a few years ago. And it was this ornament here. And so she used a fun Stampin' Up! Image and sentiment and made them on this wood disc in 2021. And I was inspired by Diana and wanted to do something similar with the Just For You set. So I made myself some snowman ornaments. Isn't it cute? Oh, I just love these. And so I actually put together a video showing how I made these. So I'll launch that video as well. But aren't they cute? And on the back, I could just write my name or put my to and from on the back. So there's that fun guy. And another snowman. And then finally, this cute gingerbread as well. And he's got, instead of snowflakes stamped around him, he has the fun little jemmies and sparkles. So those are my samples for you for the October release of SweetMissDaisy Designs. Like I said at the beginning of the video, please check out the social media pages of the design team members and see what they have to share, because they have some amazing samples to share with you. And thank you so much for joining and watching the video and chatting with me in the comments below. I just really love doing that with you guys. So thank you so much for that. And I hope you love this release as much as I do. I think this might be one of my favorites so far for SweetMissDaisy. So thank you again for watching. Please find all the links needed below, and you can find SweetMissDaisy Designs at sweetmissdaisy.etsy.com. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.